Aries. I apologize for the format right off the bat. I can't get my setup right, and this felt a little bit urgent, which is funny to me because I had previously tried to do your reading and I couldn't. So I want to talk a little bit about that before I get into your oracles. I'm going to try to make this as visually seamless as possible because unfortunately I just can't get my setup right where I can record, and I really want you to see these cards. And so anyway, let me just talk about first. Right now I'm feeling your energy really, really good. Like, it feels like your energy, like your real energy. It feels very full, very new beginning, very dawn of a new day, full of life and hope and renewal, right? Which is good. And that's why I'm doing it now, on top of the fact that I just feel really guided. Like, I can't even explain to you how important it felt to do right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't normally be doing it right now at all. It's not the right time or day or anything. I'm not camera ready. Neither is my space. So it felt urgent, so I'm doing it now. Previously, I tried to do your reading, and I decided not to. The energy was very, very different, and I had some theories as to why it felt the way it did, and I won't go over all of them necessarily, but it felt dark, like literal darkness. It felt black, just and numb, not bad, not good, just lost, right? And I don't know if you understand that or not. I didn't. It felt very personal. It felt very defensive. Like I felt like I shouldn't go there. So I didn't. The thing that I would compare it to, like that resonated with me, is that it felt like drowning. I did almost drown once. And like, I mean, it almost felt good. It felt very peaceful. But it just felt like nothing. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt very neutral. And oddly enough, it was an Aries who pulled me out of the water. And because when I channel through me, right? I'm the filter. So I felt like it was important to say that, and I think it's very likely relevant to you right now. I think what it means is that you have to pull yourself out, or you've had to. I don't know if this is past or present, right? Everybody's going to be on a different timeline. My readings, I find, stretch about 3 months' time. However, they could be hitting you whenever they're hitting you, right? Everybody's a little bit different. So my feeling is that the message I'm supposed to tell you is that this is something that you have to pull yourself out of. How, I don't know for sure. I'm going to get into your oracle cards and tell you what I think. But I think it's really important for you to trust yourself. So make that be your priority, not necessarily listening to me or anyone else. I think it's very important that you're relying on yourself, and that you're going to have to be the one. And because of sort of everything I felt, I also think it's important to maybe say that I think whatever it is, whatever the darkness is, whatever the situation is, I almost feel like it's something that you might not even be fully aware of, right? Or maybe not even fully against, right? It's like something, to put it into concrete terms, it's like something is pulling you under, like you're drowning, something's trying to drown you, and it's almost like you're okay with it, right? And what I think needs to be assessed is like why that is. Like, what is it that is numbing you out, or why are you tuning out the danger, I guess, quote unquote. I don't necessarily know if it's a real danger, but it is something that is kind of pulling you under and subduing you in a way, and making you unlike yourself, out of your element, right? And once we get past this, whatever it is for you, I know I'm speaking like very metaphorically, but that's just how it's coming. Once you get past that, I feel like you will be yourself again, because like I said, the energy I'm channeling right now, and this is probably your energy like maybe 3 months from now, potentially. This energy is good. This energy feels like Aries to me. Like, this feels like being back, being clear. And the other thing I would say before I jump into the oracles is I think it's fascinating in a way. And I think this is why the urgency is hitting me, because we have a solar eclipse coming up in your sign on April 8th. So the sun will be in Aries, and the sun is going to go black, right? Oddly enough, that day that happens, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and that might be it. I think Mars is still going to be in Pisces. I'd have to check, and I can't at the moment. Anyway, there's going to be like 4 different celestial bodies in Aries on the day of the eclipse. So what I think is funny is that the moon and the sun are both involved in an eclipse, right? So in a way, Aries is eclipsing Aries. And once again, I feel like that just emphasizes the individual nature of the energy and the task that is yours alone to, I don't know, pull yourself out of something that is not letting you be your authentic self, that is kind of leaving you on autopilot, I guess, is how I would describe it. So let's move into the oracles, because maybe these will help you understand, me understand what we're working with. I mean, I feel like these are exactly what I'm feeling. The first card out is number 30 from the Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti. And I'm going to read you this because I feel like it's important to read it to you. So it talks about danger and fear. And there's a quote here from Helen Keller that says, avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Sorry about the train. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. It's so loud. So card number 30 again for numerology people. In the darkness, our fears feed from us and grow. Our imaginations nourish them and give them form. In return, they can weaken us further or trigger our defenses, which exactly, that was like that. I was feeling like the sort of defensive energy. Like if it were a conversation between me and you, it was almost like you were like telling me to leave you alone, right? Like it did feel very like a solo personal experience that I wasn't supposed to tread on, which is why I didn't do your reading when I wanted to. So the scene here, a clear take on Little Red Riding Hood, reinforces the concept that danger may not always be obvious. Exactly. It may be hidden or disguised. In some cases, we are utterly fooled or taken by surprise and will suffer the consequences. But very often we have a sense that all is not right, that something is out of place. Our basic instincts are triggered and our senses are alerted. Is this the time for caution or boldness? Is all as it should be? Is he all that he claims to be? Is the offer too good to be true? And I guess that's another thing that I want to emphasize is definitely the feeling of, like I said, suppression, like you being subdued, somehow out of touch with your instincts, questioning your own intuition, questioning your own judgment. And these are all things I don't think you should do ever, but definitely not ignore, that you should be very aware of. And that's, once again, not to come back to the experience of drowning, but that's exactly what happened that day that I almost drowned. It's like all of my instincts to survive, to not be submerged in water, just went away. And it was like I was okay with the drowning. And there's something really wrong with that, right? And I don't know, for me, I guess this might be important. For me, I felt like that was a very spiritual experience. Something that, I mean, I thought about for years and reflected upon for years. So maybe that's similar to what is going on with you. So the next card is number 39, Release, from the Urban Crow Oracle. And that just says, when the time comes, you cannot grieve anymore and it is time to let go. Release is the next step. This card may come to you when you need help moving forward or accepting an ending. It's time to move on, rise up, and release yourself from the past. Release represents the transition between letting go and moving on. It is that moment when we become aware that we can no longer hold on to the past or an event that cannot be altered. You may need to consider if your situation is blocked or impacted by something that needs to be released. Yeah. Maybe everyone concerned, I don't know. But definitely that's making me feel like there's something potentially you are holding on to that is that metaphoric weight that is pulling you under, right? You're holding on to something too heavy and it's drowning you, and it's actually blocking you from being in touch with your own basic instincts, from your own basic essence of who you are. That's the sense I get. And release. This makes me I feel like I have to say this because I'm talking to Aries, and I know you guys are fighters. I have an Aries Mercury, so I completely understand. It's not necessarily in your nature to just walk away, right? But I feel like it may be the case that the solution is just to simply walk away, to not fight. I mean, to go back to the drowning metaphor, which is so weird. If you fight, when you are drowning, if you become hysterical and you fight, it could actually cause you to drown, right? The solution is to float. Otherwise, you deplete your energy and eventually you become the reason that you're drowning. Okay, I'm going to get off of that, but I can't help it. Get these messages. Okay, so I'm going to move on to your spread now, which I have not pulled. I'm going to pull it, despite the fact that I'm not on camera, I'm going to pull it on audio. As silly as that is, this is not my normal format. But like I said, it feels like I need to do it right now. So I'm going to pull you 3 cards and 3 clarifiers. I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite. Spirit, angels, sisters, guides. For Aries, please. Yeah. Judgment is the first card out. For Aries. Queen of Cups. And the 3 of Cups. With Justice hiding underneath it. Interesting. Well, I mean, right away, Aries, the Judgment card obviously is a card of a wake-up call, right? It's a resurrection, and it's a calling. And with the Queen of Cups next to it, I feel like this could very much be your energy. The Queen of Cups is, you know, she's very internal energy, and in her higher polarity, she knows her value. She knows the weight of her own emotions, you know, just what she contributes, what she brings to the table, her love, her nurturing, all of these things, right, is cherished. She holds it in this cup like a trophy. So she's very much someone who values her own self and demands that she be valued by others. But in her lower polarity, she is the type of energy that I was just talking about. Someone who doesn't notice things, who overlooks things, who makes excuses for others, right? Who can be sometimes a doormat. Of course, she can also be emotionally manipulative and kind of a, you know, play the victim and things like that. But I'm feeling very much the other energy. So this is telling me basically what I already said. It's time to wake up. This is a judgment call, a wake-up call to recognize the ways in which perhaps you have become a doormat or just someone who is too passive. You're not in your own energy. It's exactly, I mean, like I said, if this isn't you, then it's not your reading, or maybe it's a past reflection of something. I don't know. But I definitely am feeling you not in your energy, too passive, too willing to overlook things and ignore your own intuition. The Queen of Cups is intuitive. She trusts her intuition. And I feel like this is saying that you are not doing that. That you're overlooking that. You're overlooking your value, overlooking your worth, letting it be subdued by someone else, by a fear. I don't know what. Tell me about this 3 of Cups and Justice, the Tower. I haven't even gotten my clarifying deck out yet. I just want to kind of understand what's going on here with the 3 of Cups and Justice. The Tower. I mean, my instinct, I guess I'll just start talking. My instinct is to say we're celebrating some sort of rebalancing, right? We just had a lunar eclipse in Libra, which could also have something to do with this energy. But, you know, as well, the Tower could be your energy. It is Mars energy. I feel like there's a disruption in the universe because that's what happens. That's what happens when things are unjust, when things are not balanced. That's what happens when you know, push your own self, your own authentic self beneath, you know, the waves of other people, or because you don't want to make waves, whatever the case may be. something, you know, it eventually disrupts. You push things down, and they erupt like a volcano, kind of like the tower. I feel something is coming into balance. The Three of Cups to me is often a very spiritual card as well, and that's kind of the first thing I got when it did come out. It can talk about your spirit guides, the people working for you on the other side, on your behalf. And I feel like they could be celebrating some sort of justice. We also have Libra energy. I don't know if I mentioned that with the Justice card. Judgment for me could be both Scorpio, Libra, but the Tower is Scorpio and Aries, just in case that's important. Seven of Wands at the bottom of my Rider-Waite, which, yeah, it's telling me you need to stand up for yourself. And then maybe that's the disruption. Because if we're talking about Queen of Cups reversed energy, passive Queen of Cups energy, people are going to be shocked if you suddenly stand up for yourself after letting things go for so long. I'm going to clarify. Clarify Judgment. Two of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, I do feel like this card says, release. It's like you're releasing something. You're no longer playing the game, is what I'm hearing. You're no longer playing the game. You're no longer juggling these two different, I mean, kind of like versions of yourself. Like, I don't want to call you two-faced or anything like that, but it's like somewhere inside you know who you are, and it's like juggling that with like this persona who isn't fully, you know, present. For the Queen of Cups, I have the Two of Swords. Yeah, another card of duality. See, it's like refusing to see. It feels like suppression. Once again, feels like suppression. Refusing to see your own value. Refusing to trust your intuition. Both these cards are coming out like, well, actually, Two of Pentacles is reversed. Two of Swords is on its side. Let's move on to the back end, because that's what I'm most interested in, because I already understand what's going on there. Tell me about Justice. Queen of Pentacles. Tell me about the Three of Cups. The Four of Cups sideways. And the Tower. Oh, one sec. Five of Wands wanting to pop out. I definitely could have taken that. I feel like it belongs here. Hold on, I got a flyer. Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. I mean, when all of a sudden we have Pentacles coming out, which speak to earthly matters, right? And money. So for some of you, this could be about finances. Could be about legal matters too. We do have the Justice card here. Interesting. And the Four of Cups, another train. Are you kidding me? The Four of Cups is sideways. I feel like this energy, I'm hearing that song. It's by Twisted Sister called We're Not Gonna Take It. That's the song I'm hearing right now. And I mean, that's what I feel with the Seven of Wands there at the bottom of the deck, and the Five of Wands coming out. I do feel like there's a struggle. The Tower is here. with the Page of Cups, some of you could be dealing with a very like emotionally immature person. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. They could have, I mean, they could have stolen money from you. They could have stolen an opportunity from you. I don't know what, but I do feel like this is sort of like the last straw with something. There's some sort of opportunity here that is, I feel, the culmination of this energy. And it's either a missed opportunity for you, or you're actually turning down an opportunity because it's just so insulting. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Okay. I feel like I should close this out better than that. Get one more card for Aries. The Magician. Whoop. Just completely knocked my camera. I mean, the Magician. I think I'm just repeating myself. But the Magician has all his tools at his disposal, right? And he knows how to use them. And he knows that he knows how to use them. He's confident in his own magic. And he knows that he can create whatever he wants to. As above, so below, right? And I feel like that's exactly the energy that, I mean, I would compare it more to the Fool energy because that is Aries energy. But, I mean, the Magician is not much different. He's just the next card over, right? So stepping into, oh, that makes sense. So stepping from the jumping off the cliff and not really knowing where you're going, just living by faith, right? By, just by the seat of your pants. Going from that energy into the Magician energy, I feel like that's exactly what this is saying. It's important to not only have faith and not only feel free and hopeful and renewed, but to have that mastery over yourself, over your destiny, over your skill set, right? To be very confident in knowing what you do possess, what value you bring to the table. For some of you, this could definitely be a work situation, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to backtrack, but for sure, knowing your value, knowing your skill set, and knowing what you're capable of, and knowing what that looks like in terms of how other people should be valuing you. And I don't think I have to say that you shouldn't settle for less. All right, Aries, that's what I have for you right now. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.